1/3 they say the outback never forgets. Every footprint, every tear, every echo of a promise left behind. But there was one man the desert remembered more than anyone. An old bloke who sat by a dusty road every sunset, staring at the horizon like he was waiting for the sun to bring someone home. His name was Jack Thompson. Folks in the tiny town of Cougar Ridge called him the Sunset Man. No one knew why he sat out there every evening with his chair, his hat, and that faded photograph of a young boy in an army uniform. He'd been doing it for 21 years. Rain, shine, or dust storm, Jack never missed a sunset. They said he was waiting for his son, Michael, a soldier who went to Afghanistan and never came back. The government said missing in action. Jack said, "Nah, he's still out there, just lost his way home." Every day, as the sun dipped low over the red horizon, Jack would pour 2 cups of Billy tea, one for him, one for his boy. And he'd talk, soft, gentle words carried by the wind. Sometimes, travelers driving past would slow down, watch him sitting there, the golden light stretching over that lonely chair beside him. Most would drive on. Some would cry. Years rolled by. New folks moved into town, but Jack stayed. His little house near the roadhouse was filled with photo frames, medals, and old postcards Michael had sent from training. Every night, before sitting out, Jack would polish his son's dog tags. "Gotta keep 'em shiny, mate. He'll need 'em when he comes home." One evening, a young truckie named Ben stopped. His rig broke down right near Jack's spot. "Need a hand, mate?" Jack asked, calm as ever. Ben smiled. "Cheers, old fella. Reckon the engine's shot." Jack offered him tea, and soon they were talking. Ben listened as Jack told him about Michael, about the promise his son made. "Dad, one day I'll drive home through this very road, sunset on my back." Ben could see the hope still burning in those old blue eyes. "You ever think maybe he's gone?" "Jack?" he asked gently. Jack looked up at the setting sun and said, "Nah, son. The day I stop believing is the day the sun won't rise." Ben stayed the night at Jack's place. The old man cooked beans on toast, showed him Michael's letters, full of jokes, dreams, and love YA, Dad at the end of every one. When Ben left next morning, something in him changed. He couldn't stop thinking about the old bloke by the road. Weeks later, Ben started telling Jack's story on his truckie radio network. "There's this old man out in Cougar Ridge," he'd say. "He's waiting for his son. Been waiting 21 years. Let's make sure he knows he's not alone." Soon, word spread. One evening, as Jack took his usual seat, he noticed cars slowing, people standing quietly with him. Soldiers in uniform, mothers with candles, bikers with Aussie flags on their jackets. No one spoke. They just stood beside him as the sky turned fire orange. For the first time in decades, Jack smiled with tears. "He's bringing me company, that boy of mine," he whispered. Months later, a letter came from Defence HQ. A soldier's remains had been identified from a site near Kandahar, Michael Thompson. His tags were still around his neck. Jack opened the envelope slow, his hand shaking. He didn't cry. He just walked outside, sat in his chair, and looked at the horizon. "You found your way home, mate," he said softly. That evening, as the sun went down, the whole town joined him. A bugle played, magpies called from the gum trees, and Jack placed his son's photo on the empty chair beside him. When dawn came, the neighbors found him still sitting there, peaceful, hat on his knee, eyes closed, the dog tags in his hand. The Billy tea was still warm. They buried him next to Michael's medal case, right there by the Outback Road. And every sunset since, travelers still see that spot glowing gold, with 2 chairs sitting side by side. If this story touched your heart, mate, hit that subscribe button. Join Echoes Down Under, where we keep the Aussie spirit alive. One story, one heartbeat, one sunset at a time. Sunrise Australian.